Hello friends, welcome to the video number 15 of the video series Forced Vibration of Single Degree of Freedom Systems. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the vector representation of the equation of motion mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equals to f naught cos omega t. We have already derived this equation of motion mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equals to f naught cos omega t in my previous videos. You can watch the derivation part. Today we are going to represent this equation of motion in a form of a vector diagram, right? So without wasting time, we'll start this topic. So see, this mx double dot is a force. We know it's called as an inertia force. Cx dot is also a force. It is called as the damping force. Kx is also a force. It is called as the spring force. This f naught cos omega t is the external harmonic excitation force. So these four terms, all these four terms are four different forces. So actually we need to draw a vector polygon for these four forces. That is our aim, right? So first of all we'll talk about mx double dot. Mx double dot. This mx double dot is the inertia force. Mx double dot is the inertia force. This cx dot is the damping force. This term kx is the spring force. And last, this f naught cos omega t is the harmonic excitation force. Harmonic excitation force, right? So we need to draw the vectors for these four forces, and after drawing the vectors we are going to see the vector polygon for that four forces, the system which will contain that four forces. So before actually starting to draw the vector diagram, first of all we'll see the expression for xt, we'll see the expression for x dot t, we'll see the expression for x double dot t. What is this xt? This is the response. What is this x dot t? X dot t is the velocity of the system. X double dot t is the acceleration of the system. So we know the response of the system. Response represented by xt. And what is the response of the system? Xt. We know that xt is having a transient response part plus a steady state response part. The total response is transient response plus steady state response. But after having a sufficient period of time t of the harmonic force f naught cos omega t over this system, we can say the transient response is going to be vanished and the total response will be steady state response only, right? So I can simply write the response to be steady state response. And what is the formula for a steady state response? A cos omega t minus phi. For the harmonic force f naught cos omega t, the steady state response I can write as A cos omega t minus phi. So this is my xt, this xt. Now what about x dot t? X dot t. X dot t is what? D by dt of xt, right? That means d by dt of A cos omega t minus phi. Now what is d by dt of A cos omega t minus phi? A is a constant, d by dt of cos is minus sign. So I will take minus here, so minus A sine omega t minus phi into d by dt of omega t minus phi is omega only. So I can write from here x dot t is equals to minus omega a sine omega t minus phi. This is what? This is x dot t. Now what about acceleration x double dot t? X double dot t is d square by dt square of xt, right, which is d by dt of x dot t. I already have the expression for x dot t, so I'll just differentiate this x dot t so that I'm going to get x double dot. Now what is the differentiation of this thing? Minus omega a is a constant. Now d by dt of sine omega t minus phi, a is cos omega t minus phi. Now d by dt of omega t minus phi is omega only. So from here I can write x double dot t is equals to minus omega square a cos omega t minus phi, right? This much. So I have xt, I have x dot t, I have x double dot t. Now I can put these values in this equation of motion. Then I am going to get a system of forces along with their sign, positive or negative. Then I can easily draw the vector representation of the forces. Now what is the equation of motion of the system? Equation of motion is mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equals to f naught cos omega t, right? Now I will put the values of x double dot, x dot and x here in this equation of motion. So I can write this to be m into, what is the formula for x double dot? Minus omega square a cos omega t minus phi, right? Plus c here. Now what is the formula for x dot? The formula for x dot was minus omega a sine omega t minus phi. Now what is the formula for this x? The formula for x is a cos omega t minus phi equals to f naught cos omega t, right? Now I can write this expression as minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi, this as minus c omega a sine omega t minus phi, this expression as plus ka cos of omega t minus phi equals to f naught cos omega t, right? Now this is the system of forces which I need to draw on a vector diagram, right? This is the expression. This expression is having four forces. The first force is m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. The second force is minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi. The third force is plus ka cos omega t minus phi. The fourth force is f naught cos omega t. Now we can say the resultant of these three forces, minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi plus ka cos omega t minus phi, the resultant of these three forces is f naught cos omega t. This much we can say, right? Now we'll draw the vector representation of this system of forces. So my equation is minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi plus k a cos omega t minus phi equals to f naught cos omega t. This is the expression. Now you already have this expression. I didn't have this expression, that's why once again I have written. So for this system of forces, I am going to draw the vector diagram. Right. So to draw vector, I'll have a vertical axis, the y-axis. I'm going to have an x-axis, horizontal axis, right? Okay. Now this side is positive x side. This side is negative x side. This side is positive y side upwards, and this side is negative y side downwards. Right hand side is positive x, left hand side is negative x. Upward is positive y, downward is negative y. Now to draw all the vectors, I should have a reference line. This is your origin, this one. So to draw all the vectors, I should have a reference line. So you can take out of these 4 lines, you can take any line as the reference line. Either plus x you can take, either plus y you can take, either minus x you can take, minus y also you can take. Any one line you should take as a reference line to draw the vectors, to draw all the vectors, 4 vectors, right? So in class which I have taken on 30th April on Zoom app, I have taken the class. In that class I have drawn these all vectors from positive x-axis. Now I am going to draw these all vectors from positive y-axis. So this axis is my reference line now. Positive y-axis is my reference line now to draw all 4 vectors, right? Okay. Now first of all, I'll draw this vector f naught cos omega t because it is the simplest one to draw, right? So I'll have this cos component of the force f naught over this reference line. Then simultaneously I'm going to draw the force f naught, right? I have a force f naught cos omega t which is positive. So I'll draw that force on my reference line. So now suppose this force, this dash force, this force is what? This force is f naught cos omega t, right? I have f naught cos omega t over my reference line. Now if suppose I'll have a force, I'll have a force here. The force is f naught here, which is making an angle omega t. The force f naught is making an angle omega t with the reference axis, with the reference line. Then I can have the cos component of f naught as f naught cos omega t over the reference line, right? So the position of f naught is correct because I have a certain force f naught such that it is making an angle of omega t with the reference line. Then it will have the cos component over the reference line, which is f naught cos omega t, and I should have f naught cos omega t over the reference line because it's a positive force. So all the positive forces out of these 4 forces, all the positive forces will be over the reference line. all the negative forces will be in the direction opposite to the negative, opposite to the reference line. That means, what is the direction opposite to the upward direction? Downward direction. That means all the positive forces will be over this plus y axis or upward direction. All the negative forces will be in the downward direction or negative y direction. Right. So I have drawn f naught cos omega t here. Now, out of these three forces, I have plus k a cos omega t minus phi. It is also positive force plus ka. So I should have plus ka cos omega t minus phi over here, somewhere over here only. Right. So how should I draw? See, I should have a force ka such that its cos component is making an angle omega t minus phi with the reference axis. Right. So for time being, you can assume a certain line. You can assume certain line like this. So I'll draw a straight line like this, right? So now this line is making an angle phi, right? This angle is equals to phi. So this line is making an angle phi with the line of action of the force F naught. So now if this angle is phi, this angle is omega t total. The angle of F naught is omega t. The angle of this line and the line of action of the force is phi. So now how much is this angle? This angle will be omega t minus phi. This total angle is omega t. This total angle. This angle is omega t, right? So out of this omega t, phi has been removed. So remaining will be omega t minus phi. Right. Now, over this line, just be with me. Now suppose over this line, I'll have certain force Ka. Suppose now this force is Ka. So its component over the reference line will be equals to how much? Suppose I have the force Ka over this line only, this is straight line only. So its component over the reference line will be equals to how much? Ka into cos of the angle, and angle is how much? Omega t minus phi. So this component of the force will be Ka cos omega t minus phi. I have drawn the second force plus Ka cos omega t minus phi. Now I should draw a force minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. It is a negative force. That means this force must be on the downward direction, negative y direction. So I'll take the component of the force. Suppose till here I am taking the component. This component should be equals to, this component should be equals to minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. Right? This component of the forces is such that it is equals to minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. It is minus force, that's why I am drawing on the downward direction or negative y axis. Right? Now suppose if I am going to have a force something like this, on this straight line only, on the line of action of Ka only, if I am going to have certain force till here, from here till here, suppose I am going to have a force, I should not write minus because already it is in negative y direction. So I will simply make the force m omega square a here. Now how much is this angle? This angle? See, this line is having the angle omega t minus phi with the vertical axis. So this line, because both are parallel, will also have an angle omega t minus phi with the vertical axis. So this angle is equals to omega t minus phi. This angle is omega t minus phi. Now if I have a force m omega square a which is making an angle of omega t minus phi with the vertical axis, so obviously the component over this vertical axis will be m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. Right? Okay, so I have drawn m omega square a also. Now the last force minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi I should draw. So it is minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi. That means I should have a certain force on negative y direction, because it's a negative force. On negative y direction I should have a force whose sine component is equals to c omega a sin omega t minus phi. That means in continuation to minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi, I'll have one more force here, and the magnitude of this force is c omega a sin omega t minus phi. This component is sin omega t minus phi, and then I'll draw the force on this line. It's a sine component, right? It's a sine component. Then how should I draw the force? It's a sine component. Okay. So how can I draw the force? I'll remove this one. What I can do? This is the sine component. That means the cos component will be on the minus x axis. The sine component will be on minus y axis. And the angle from the x axis should be omega t minus phi. Right. That means I should draw a line which is exactly perpendicular to this line of action of Ka and m omega square. So I'll draw a line like this. I have written the forces here. For time being, I'll erase the forces. Right. So I'll draw a line which is exactly perpendicular to the line of action of Ka and m omega square. Now on this line, I'll assume that this angle from the horizontal axis, this angle is also equals to omega t minus phi. Right. Then how much is this angle? If this much angle is omega t, this angle is omega t minus phi. The angle between the line of action of the force Ka and the reference line is omega t minus phi. That means the vertical axis. And the angle between the line of action of c omega a and the horizontal axis is omega t minus phi. Then how much is the angle between line of action of Ka and c omega a? The angle is obviously 90 degree, pi by 2. So I'll suppose this angle to be omega t minus phi. This angle is omega t minus phi. And I'll assume a force here. I'll assume a force here. I'll assume a force here. Like this. Right. I'll assume this force to be c omega a. Now there is a force c omega a which is making an angle of omega t minus phi with the horizontal line. Then its horizontal component will be c omega a cos omega t minus phi, and the vertical component will be c omega a into sin omega t minus phi. So this component of the force is equals to c omega a into sin omega t minus phi. So this is the position of c omega a, which is correct because I have a downward direction vertical component of the force c omega is sin omega t minus phi, which was required by this system of forces. So this is the vector representation of all these four forces. We'll just recheck once again. First of all, f naught cos omega t, that means f naught cos omega t should be on the reference line, which is correct, f naught cos omega t minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi. Oh, we'll leave that, we'll start from ka. Ka is a positive force plus k cos omega t minus phi, that means ka cos omega t minus phi will be on the reference line, which is correct. That means the location, the position of k is correct. Now we should have minus m omega square a cos omega t minus phi, that means we should retract the line of action of ka and we should draw m omega square a such that it is making an angle of omega t minus phi with the vertical axis, so that it will have a component of the force m omega square a cos omega t minus phi in the negative y direction, right? Now talking about minus c omega a sin omega t minus phi, that means I should have a force c omega a such that it is making an angle of omega t minus phi with the horizontal axis, so that it will have a component c omega a sin omega t minus phi onto the minus y axis, right? So this is our answer. This is the vector representation of the system of forces. Now out of this vector representation I am going to draw a vector polygon, right? We have all four forces f naught, ka, c omega a and m omega square a, right? Now suppose I want to draw a vector polygon, right? So first of all I should have the reference line. So this line is the reference line. The vertical axis upward direction is the reference line. This was the origin. So the first force I'll draw, and the first force was Ka. So something like this. Ka was somewhere here. Ka. Alright, this was Ka, and Ka was making an angle of omega t minus phi with the reference line, right? This was my reference line. This is reference line. This angle was omega t minus phi. This angle. Now after Ka, I will add this force c omega a. Now what was the direction of c omega a? C omega a was exactly perpendicular to Ka. That means a line which is perpendicular to Ka, and in which direction? Here or here? In this direction. C omega a was in this direction. So I will draw c omega a something like this. This is c omega a, and from the reference line the angle of c omega a means this angle. This angle was equals to how much? This much was omega t minus phi, and adding pi by 2 to that, so it will be pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi, right? This angle is pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi. Now after c omega a, we were having a force minus m omega square a, which was exactly parallel to Ka. So I should draw a line parallel to Ka. Is it parallel? Yes. This is the force. So both are parallel. And how much is this force? M omega square A. Now, from the reference line means from the vertical axis, from this vertical axis, what is this angle? This was C omega A. Now, what was this angle from the reference axis, reference line? See, this is already omega t minus phi. So, if this is my reference, this parallel angle, this angle is already omega t minus phi, right? Now from here till here it is 180 degree, means pi. That means the entire angle from the reference line will be pi plus omega t minus phi. This much is the angle. And at last, from the origin, we can have the resultant of all these three forces. And the resultant was how much? The resultant was F naught. And what was the angle of this force F naught from the reference line? How much this angle was? This angle was, see, the horizontal axis is somewhere here. Don't merge them. The horizontal axis is somewhere here. So how much this angle was? Means the angle of F naught from the reference line was omega t. Means this angle is omega t. Right, and this is omega t minus phi. That means this angle is equals to how much? This angle is phi. Right. So this is the vector polygon of the system of forces in the equation of motion. This is the vector polygon. Vector polygon of equation of motion. Right. So this is the end of the video number 15th. So in this video we have drawn the vector representation and vector polygon for the system of forces present in the equation of motion of a damped harmonically excited spring mass system with single degree of freedom. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome to the 16th video of the video series Post Vibration of Single Degree of Freedom Systems. In today's video, we are going to derive a formula for a very important topic in the entire forced vibration of single degree of freedom systems. And the formula which we are going to derive today is the formula for magnification factor, amplification factor, or amplitude ratio. These all are the same terms: magnification factor, amplification factor, or amplitude ratio, right? So by the definition, the definition of magnification factor says that magnification factor is the ratio of steady state amplitude, the ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection of a harmonically excited forced vibration system. So what is the definition? Magnification factor is the ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection. The ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection of a harmonically excited forced vibration system. So basically, magnification factor is the ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection or static amplitude, you can say. Static deflection or static amplitude of a harmonically excited forced vibration system. Right? I should not write harmonically excited, I should simply write forced vibration system. Because for steady state amplitude, the force will be harmonic kind. But for static deflection, the force will be a constant type of force. So, the ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection of a forced vibration system. Forced vibration system. Right. Basically, it's the ratio of steady state amplitude to the static deflection. So, the formula for magnification factor MF is equals to steady state amplitude divided by static deflection which is also called as static amplitude. Right? Now, by what letter we were representing steady state amplitude? See, the steady state response you can recall. Steady state response, XPT. This was the steady state response. And what was the formula? A cos omega t minus phi. Right. And the static deflection we were representing by delta ST. And the formula was F naught by K. Right. So the ratio of this A, this is the amplitude of steady state response. So this A divided by this delta ST is what? Magnification factor. Right. So here in the formula of magnification factor, I am going to write this steady state amplitude to be A. This was the amplitude of the steady state response by static deflection or static amplitude was F naught by K. Now, what is the formula of this A? So we have learnt a form of this A. The form was F naught by K by square root of 1 minus R square whole square plus 2 zeta R whole square. We have learned this form of the steady state amplitude, the amplitude of the steady state response. See, steady state amplitude or the amplitude of steady state response, both are the same thing, right? So we have learned this formula for A, F naught by K by square root of 1 minus R square whole square plus 2 zeta R whole square into 1 by this F naught by K was there, right? So now from here, this F naught by K gone. So we got the formula for magnification factor. So I can write magnification factor to be 1 by square root of 1 minus R square whole square plus 2 zeta R whole square. This is the formula for magnification factor. Right. This is the formula for magnification factor. The formula is 1 by square root of 1 minus R square whole square plus 2 zeta R whole square. This is the formula. Where this R is the frequency ratio. R is the frequency ratio. And the formula for R is omega by omega n. The frequency of the harmonic excitation force divided by the natural frequency of the system. And the zeta is the damping factor. Zeta is the damping factor, and the formula for zeta is C by Cc. The actual damping coefficient by critical damping coefficient. Right. This is C by Cc. So this is the end of the video number 16. Now in the next video, we are going to see the variation of magnification factor with